Hello.
Hey
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Hey guys.
And we are doing another. How did you do that? And this time we have our lovely guest, Sindiroo, today to show us how to use our sewing machine.
Yay!
Hello, Cindy.
Both of us or just one of us?
Or just one of us.
Give an audio thing again.
Sound went away again.
Ah,
Oh.
we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can.
It must be something over there because I didn't do anything on my side.
Mm-mm.
Let me see something. Oh.
Okay. Oh, headphone. Da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
People.
Cindy, can you hear me?
Cindy, can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Now? Okay.
Oh,
Cindy will come
gone.
right back.
I think she's resetting in.
Hi, Se Wong.
Hi, Siwan.
Cindy will come right back. We were having this before we came on the show, so hopefully it won't keep doing this for the whole time.
Yeah. So it is an interesting thing that's going on. I can hear Sandra. Sandra can hear me. We can both hear Cindy, but Cindy hasn't been able to hear us. Let's see if this works.
I think we
Hello?
need a hello.
Hello.
Wait.
Oh.
Where'd she go?
There.
Okay. You hear?
Yes.
Here?
Okay.
Yeah, what's this one?
I think so.
I mean,
And I hear
guess
both of
from-
you.
Yay!
Okay.
All right. All righty. So, yay. So we have Sindiroo here to show us what we're doing with sewing machines. Because some of us break needles like I did last week.
Or just sewing in general.
Yeah.
I figured.
When I was in
Yeah. I put way too much in my machine.
when
It
I was
might
in
have
Pasadena
been
yesterday,
your-
someone needed to know this.
It might have been your needle size. Did you put in a heavy duty needle for the amount that you were doing?
No, I put a 90-14.
Yeah, you needed to go up. Probably an 18 if you were doing heavy duty.
And it was only like 9 layers of pleather.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
And were you
He got most of it done though.
So, yeah. So, what exactly did you want us to... I was just going to start with basics for sewing. So, I keep samples of different types of stitches, seams, and things ready so that I can look at them again to remember how to do them. And so, and now I probably dropped them all out as I was coming up. No, okay. So, um, so like this little sample is a French seam. So when it's on the inside of the object, you can't see any raw edges. And then when it's on the outside, it's very nice and clean.
Ooh.
So, and I just have little samples like that so that when I'm teaching somebody how to do something, so this one is like what's on our jeans. This is called a flat felled seam. And it's similar to that one, but done over. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do things. And I always hate when somebody says, like, oh, you have to do it this way. But you don't have to do it that way. You can always figure out what works best for you and do it that way. So.
Uh-oh. We can't hear you.
Sure, playing smooth on our internet. Probably playing smooth our internet. Probably playing smooth on the show.
Huh?
We're back.
Yeah, the YouTube show can't even hear her.
Can't
Like
hear
the
you?
phone. YouTube show can't even hear her. Like the phone.
You lost your audio, Cindy.
Cindy, we can't hear you. No.
No.
We are sorry, folks, about technical difficulties. Oh, now I hear something.
It's probably because Duggery just called me, so it probably threw my phone off.
Oh, tell him to stop calling you. And there Cindy goes. I'm sure Cindy will be coming back soon.
Yeah.
But there she comes.
Oh, there she is right there. You got her or do I?
I got her.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear sound from her. If we were sponsored, I'd say this is brought to you by.
Okay.
Yay, we can hear you.
Yay!
Okay. All right. So,
Hey.
all right. So what I was saying was I didn't know if I was supposed to teach Jeff how to do these things, but I know he already knows how to do most of them.
But our audience may not.
Yeah. So, I just have a piece of muslin here, and I fold it over about an inch. And I'm going to start with just a needle and thread. So this is where's the camera? This is a sewing needle. And then I just have some polyester thread. I did it in blue. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a running stitch, which is basically just going in and out of the fabric. And you're just going to go in and back out, and then in and back out. This is the most basic step for sewing. And then it gives you like this. So, and that will hold 2 pieces of fabric together. You can do it smaller stitches, you could do it longer stitches. And it will hold 2 pieces of fabric together. So if you wanted a tighter stitch, what I would do is what's called a back stitch. So it starts off like the running stitch, but after you've made a stitch, you go back in to the same one again, and then you go past the one where you came out. Then like this, and then it takes away the gap. So then you'll do the same thing again. So then you close the gap by going into that one again, and then you go past the one that you just came up. And you do it again, and that gives you a nice stitch that is solid and all the way across.
Now, would it take more thread to finish when you're sewing, or would it be the same amount of thread?
Sewing by hand and sewing by the machine?
By hand, if you were to do that, the back stitch.
Versus the running stitch? Yes, it takes more
Yes.
thread. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it definitely takes more thread because you're going back over and reinforcing each one. So, and then the back ends up looking solid as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it ends up looking the same. So then I don't do this, never. I always tell my students, do as I say, not as I do. So, okay. And then we're going to take this top of the thread of the fabric, and I'm just going to fold it. So now I have 2 folded edges together. Can you see those 2?
Yes.
All right, so it's 2 folded edges together. And I'm going to show you a couple of stitches. So this first one is called a whip stitch. And basically you go in at your end, and then you're just going to go from behind. You're going to wrap around, and you're just going to pull through, and you're going to go behind and pull through. And you're going to do that to close off those 2. So if this was on the edge of a pillow or a stuffed animal that you were making, this is how you could close it off, like this. The only thing is that these stitches are visible, right? So you may not want to have visible stitches. So if you don't want to have visible stitches, it's a little harder, but doing a ladder stitch, which means, I wish I could show you guys through my my magnifying glass. You're going to go in between the fold of one layer. So can you see where my needle is going in and where it's coming out?
Yeah.
It's inside that back fold. So you're going to pull it, and that hides your thread. And now you're going to go across and go into the front fold and do the same exact thing. You're going to go right across and you're gonna hide your needle inside the front fold now. So now it's in the front fold. And then you pull it. And now those two are secured together, but you don't have visible threads like we have over here.
Right. Yes. Very clean.
Yeah, so that's nice because it hides the thread and it makes it a very nice, clean closure when you're doing something like that. So, so those are some basic hand stitches that that you use when hand sewing. And they're all great stitches and you use them for different things. And I love having those. And then the last hand thing I'm going to do is I wanted to show you. Everybody asked, how do I sew on a button?
Oh, yeah.
So I figured, let me show you how to sew on a button.
Which kind of button are you going to show us? 'Cause there's all
I
kinds.
have a basic 2-hole button. So I just have a basic 2-hole button. So when you have, we're gonna have our 2 little folds again. And then we're gonna sew the button here. And then I'm gonna show you how to put a buttonhole on this one so that, actually we'll do the buttonhole first. So we're gonna set the button aside for now. And I will show you guys. So sewing machines are very similar, but they're not all the same. So I wonder, can I reverse my camera? Yes, no?
I think you can. Yeah.
I'm trying.
Should be able to in the setting there.
Front camera.
If you go into setting camera,
Back camera. Okay.
and then
Alright.
it should say near my camera.
Okay. I found it. All right. So I have a brother. And I have a top loading bobbin. Many people may have a sewing machine that has a front loading bobbin. If you have a front loading bobbin, you really have to look at your manual to find out if you need to put it in. So this is a P because the thread is on this side, and then and it's reversed. Hold on, let me mirror it. Back mirror. Back triple, back wide, back dual, back telephoto. You said it says back mirror? I don't have one that says back
Yes.
mirror.
Oh.
No, that's still.
Philippe, you're in the chat. Help us out.
I'm just gonna hit all of
the little.
No, it's flipping my thing, so it's not showing.
Gear right there at the end of the row of stuff down with.
I don't know. What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing the thread on the left or the right?
We're seeing it on the left. Like we
You
can
are
see
seeing
the
it on
word
the left?
brother correctly. Yes.
Okay, then I guess you are, because I'm seeing it. It's showing
I
it
can
to
read
me
both
on the
properly.
right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
you're
can
seeing it
see
right.
it correct.
Okay, so this is a P, and when we flip it and it's on the right, it's called a 9. So you do have to check and see if you have a front loading, if it goes into the little encasement and pushes in with it in a 9 or with it in a P. I thought they all did it as a P, but I've learned that they don't. So, but mine is top loading. So my bobbin, once you fill it, goes in here and then it gets pulled over like this. Then what we have to do is you have to follow your sewing machine. And every one is a little bit different, but they're mostly very similar.
Mine has
So mine goes through this little thing first. Then it says 2. It wraps around here. Then it comes down the front and you'll find 3. And it goes up here. Then 4. So it goes around you, and you have to go around because there's a little arm in here that you want to catch. And then you pull it down. And then there's a tiny little thing here that it goes behind. And then mine, because I'm old and I need help sometimes, has a little threader. So the auto threader. And then you pull it down. You wrap your thread around. And you hook it through, and it pulls it through the needle for you.
I love that auto thread feature. Mine has that too.
Me too.
Bill
Then
says we are all old.
We are all
then you rotate one time, and that sends your needle down, and it picks up your bobbin thread. And then you pull your bobbin thread. You put them both beneath your foot, and you pull them to the back. And you always want to have long tails, which is your 2 threads. You want them to be long. Because if they're too short, they're going to suck back up into your machine. And then you have to do that all over again. And you don't want to have to do that. So then you always make sure you cover your
Also,
bobbin.
you might have to sew whatever you were.
You might have to what?
Resew whatever you were sewing.
Oh, yeah, you might have to re-sew, yeah.
It pulls the bobbin, you have nothing for a grab on that side.
Yep. So a lot of people ask me about buttons and buttonholes. So this is the button foot. And it has a little gauge right here that moves. And it measures your button. So you open it up and you're going to put your button here. And so see, it holds your button just like that. And this tells your machine what size button you're using.
Does your machine have settings for those, or just would figure with the foot that there's a button?
Yeah. No, I'll show you, because you always have to fix the setting. So then we're going to remove this foot, and there's a lever in the back. And drop that foot off. And we're going to put our button foot on. And then we are going to pull our thread So I always have tweezers and pliers right by my sewing machine because you always need them, especially my serger. And then now both my threads are underneath my foot again, and they're in the back. Okay. So on my machine, I do not have a digital machine because I do not like digital machines. Because when something happens to the digital thing, then you can't use your machine. So I prefer the non-digital ones. Number one, it's very hard for me to figure out this camera thing. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay.
We can
Number
see the
one
numbers
is
correctly.
you can.
Yes.
Okay. Number one is button. Number two is straight stitch or running stitch, which is what I just showed you guys in hand sewing. Number three is zigzag. And then there's a whole bunch of different versions of zigzag and then some fancy ones that I don't really need or use much. Sometimes I do, but not often. So we're going to switch our dial to 1 because we want it on button.
I am on a finger. I'm on a finger, so mine is on a big dial wheel, and you'll just go based off of a picture that it's 12 o'clock.
Okay. Mine has a little ridge right here to tell me when it's at 12 o'clock or that it's in the resting set position for my needle. So then we have our stitch length. So this is my stitch length. This is my stitch width. So when you're zigzagging, you need to have a width, but it's also my needle position. So if I change my stitch width, it moves my needle side to side. So 4 is center for me. And then we do the stitch length. So then if we do this, hopefully it's not going to bounce off. All right. So we're going to take this piece right here and put it in. Let's see if it decides to. And then I have a little lever here that I have to pull down and then push it back to tell my machine that it is in button mode.
So anyone else would have to double check their manual if that's a mode on their machine.
Right. Then, so, then of course I didn't go far enough up. So, yeah, so you need to check your machine and make sure that it's and then it'll auto stop. On mine, yours may not auto stop. So then once you have that, you will have a buttonhole like that. but it's
Ooh.
closed. So what you do, like I had it sitting here, is you take your seam ripper, you put it in at the bottom of the buttonhole, and then you just go up the middle of your buttonhole that you just made. And it opens it up.
Oh, definitely learned something new right now. Never knew how that was done.
Okay. So then we're going to go back now, and now we're going to sew on that button, which we have to take out of our foot because we had it in there for size. And now just so you can see how it measured the size, it's going to fit right in there, nice and secure. So, we'll show that again. Let me put you guys back up. And turn you back around. Front camera.
Also, definitely remember the little knob on the side that progresses your thread. If you do it by hand, it always needs to turn the same a certain direction.
Yeah,
Go backwards,
forward.
it's bad.
Always. Yeah. Okay. So now we have a buttonhole and we have a button that goes in and out with no problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark our hole on the other side. And we're going to place our button. It'll go right across. So to do the button, so I always take my needle and I go down behind, because that's going to be behind the button and that hides my knot. So I go down and then back up. And that will hide my knot behind the button. Then if you have 4 holes, you would transfer over to the other side from behind or under. So we're going to come up through one of the holes, and then you're just going to go down all the way through. And then I do this 2 times. Go up, down, and then come up. And then when I come down the 3rd time, I put it in my needle in between the button and my fabric. And then what I do is I wrap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to secure those threads that I did. And then I go through the fabric behind it like this. And then I create a loop and I come back through that loop. And then I create another loop and go through that one. And it ties off my thread.
Ooh. I don't know about the rest of y'all in the chat, but I just learned something completely new. 'Cause I didn't know all those tricks about putting on a button.
So then what we have now is we have a button in our buttonhole. And we go through and ta-da.
Awesome. I am legit taking notes.
So yeah. So a lot of you are like, how do you do the buttons? How do you do the buttons? And I do the exact same thing with so this is a flat button, but let me get my button jar. You might end up with shank buttons. So
What is a shank button?
So a shank button. Let me see if I have one that's not on a card. Hold on. A shank button means it has
So
this
with the 4-hole
little
button, do you
back.
prefer?
Oh,
It
I
depends
didn't know
on
that's
the
what they were
look.
called.
It depends on the look that I'm going for. What kind of buttons I prefer. So, like, if I'm doing something like Victorian or historical, I tend to use these cute little shank buttons, or the like pearl one. This one's also a shank button. But
Oh, we have one in
I
our button bag.
yeah, I have a big old button box full of stuff.
We have a pair
So
of them.
I think we got those from
oops.
your grandma.
Those are great places to get
They were
buttons.
79 cents when they were brand new.
That is so funny. I do that all the time. I
Oh, we
look
got
at
little
the
puppy dog
prices
ones
of the old,
that are
like
shank.
the old Walmart ones, 97 cents for 2. But like they're getting so fancy with buttons nowadays. I have these that are bumblebees and a beehive.
Yeah, those
So
are
you
so
could,
cute.
yeah, you could sew the beehive up on a lapel and then have the buttons flying up, and then you could do like a running stitch in between from button to button, and do some little
Mhm.
curly cues and stuff to make it look like the bees flying to the beehive.
Yeah, that's super cute.
And then they're
I just
usable
like them
as
just
well.
because I like them just to have around the house as decoration.
So yeah. So
So,
the other thing I
so if
wanted
you
to
have a
talk about,
4-hole, do you prefer to do the crisscross?
the with the
Do you
4
like
holes, I
do
like
the
side by side.
crisscross or the box?
I like side by side. I don't like my threads to cross in the front. So I go in and out on the left, and then I go in and out on the right, and then I go in and out on the left, and I go in and out on the right, and then I go in and out on the left, in and out on the right, and then I wrap around. So
To get
I
that
don't
all
like
out, babe.
I don't like the threads to cross at all, or do the I like them like this, side by side.
You like them neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you can do that. You could also do the box where it's like up, down, and then side to side, top and bottom.
Yes. Yeah, you could do that. So I was thinking about, does anybody have any questions? Like, what do I really have to do that? Because I get a lot of questions. Do I really have to do this? Do I really have to do that? So I'm curious if anybody has questions of, do they really have to do something? And I'd, how can
You'll
I
tell them
see
yes
the
or no.
chat? Yeah.
I think you can. Like, it's like where the private chat was. If you go up to the top where it says comments, you can see. But so far, no one's asked a question yet. They're just chit-chatting and saying hello right now.
Okay.
So someone like Rachel, do you have a question about sewing or a comment about sewing? Like, do you do something different than Cindy or anything like that? And then Cindy just disappeared. She is Houdini tonight.
Lost her.
I think she might have accidentally clicked out.
Yeah,
See, there she is.
it is very close. You got her?
Yeah, let me bring her back.
It keeps trying to get me to subscribe. So it keeps popping up on my screen
Okay.
saying, do you want to subscribe?
Say no, leave me alone.
So the biggest question I get is, do I really have to iron? And the answer is yes. You should always iron your seams and your hems and everything, because it just makes for such a neater project. So my answer to that one is definitely yes. So
I'll be honest, I'm not good at a lot of things. Sewing is not one of them.
yeah. It was funny because since I learned how to hand sew, and I was very afraid to use a sewing machine. But yeah. So I thought, all right, if there's no questions, okay, I was gonna teach Jeff how to make a pillow.
Chris will have another pillow.
So I had Jeff get two 12 by 12 pieces of fabric. Did you get those? And then so your fabric almost always has a right side and a wrong side. Every once in a while it won't. My fabric is very hard to tell because the right side is just a little bit darker than the wrong sides. When you're sewing, you're almost always going to do things right sides together. But every once in a while, like if you're putting on an applique or something, you may do wrong side to right side. So it is important to know and be able to identify your wrong side and your right sides. So we're going to take the two squares and we're going to put them wrong sides together. And then we're going to use straight pins. And we are going to, we're going to pin the top of one side and then the bottom of one side. And then we're going to pin. And so the reason and then we're going to pin it right in the middle of those 2 points. And then we're going to pin in the middle again and the middle. So the middle, we're going to go from the middle to the top, in the middle of the middle and the bottom, and then the middle of the middle and the top, and pin again so that we have 5 pins on one side. And the reason you do that is it helps to distribute your fabric evenly. So then it looks, so we have pins across. And then we're going to do that all the way around. And I did not tell Jeff to go buy polyfill because he doesn't need to. Just for the demo, but yeah, so you're going to do that on all 4 sides.
I have it.
You do have polyfill? I feared you probably would.
I have it.
Yeah. But you don't have to have polyfill. If you're one of those people and you have a whole bunch of fabric scraps or something, you can always use fabric scraps to stuff a stuffed animal or to stuff a pillow. I've seen a lot of people who do sustainable dog beds and they stuff them with their fabric scraps.
So any kind of stuffing, really, you can just use and shove.
Yeah. So
Foam drops work really good too.
what do?
Oh, foam drops when you're using foam and you have all the extra pieces.
Yes. You might want to cut them down to be tiny little cubes though, so that you don't end up with weirdly shaped pillows and stuff.
Yeah, you can like get your kid to do that for you. Or is
Yeah.
that just us?
No, you can definitely get your kid to do that for you.
We get him to do stuff all the time.
I get him to do stuff all the time.
I know, he loves you, so he'll do anything for you.
I love him too. All right. So, the one thing about when you are doing a pillow or a stuffed animal or something that you have to stuff is you have to leave a gap so that you can turn it right side. Or even if you're doing a purse or something, you know, and you have to, and you're doing a lining and doubling it, you need to leave a gap. So we aren't going to sew between these two pins. So we will start sewing at this pin, and then we will stop sewing at this pin. And so I forgot to show you guys on the machine. The other thing people ask is, do I really have to pay attention to the gauges? Let me flip you back camera. Okay, so right here, there's little gauges. If you put your fabric right neck at the edge of your foot, that is 1/4 of an inch. I had to draw 3/8 of an inch because my machine does not have 3/8 of an inch. Then it has 1/2 an inch, 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 of an inch is what you will use on all standard patterns 90% of the time. Every once in a while, it'll tell you to do 3/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 of an inch. Then it goes to 1 inch. Then it goes to 1.5, and it goes on. Okay. So when you are sewing, what you are going to look at when using a machine, a lot of beginners, they want to watch the needle go up and down to make sure that the needle is going, but then they lose track of their edge. So what we actually want to pay attention to is when we put our fabric in and we line it up with that number that we're going to watch. This is where we want to look, is the edge of our fabric, to make sure that it is always on the line coordinating with the number we are trying to do. We want to watch there. We don't want to watch here. Because when we watch the needle, we lose track and then we end up with not a straight seam. Okay. Guys, back up. Switch back to front. All right.
So are we using straight stitch or zigzag?
So we're going to do a straight stitch. So we need to change our machine off of buttonhole because I was on buttonhole. We're going to check our stitch length. So I need to turn mine back to 3. And then since we're not doing a zigzag, we don't need to worry about our width. And then we're going to put our fabric in, line it up with the 5/8 line. We're just going to use 5/8 because, like I said, that is generally what is used in making patterns and stuff. So... okay. And then, so I don't know how most people do it, but what I do is I always start in reverse for 2 stitches. So I will go 1, 2 in reverse, and then I go forward. Does that make sense?
So why would you? Yes, but tell the audience, why would you do that?
So the reason that I do that is because you need to reverse, because that locks, sorry, my tail is getting very, okay. So you have to lock your stitches. So what that does is that creates a back stitch, and it it secures your thread so it doesn't fall out. But if you go forward and then you do your back stitch, then you have to go forwards again. So you end up with a lot of thread that is unnecessary, because you end up with 3 rows of thread on top of each other. So I do it just to have 2 rows of thread. So I go back 2 stitches and then I go forward. And then pull out your needle, because you don't want to break your sewing needle. Pull out your pin, because you don't want to break your needle.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, sorry. Pull out your pin because you don't want to break your needle. And then you're going to go. And if you wanted to, you could have marked your 5/8 thing. So then you're going to turn. When you get to the corner, you're going to turn, and you need to have your needle down in your fabric. I'm going to go one more stitch. So you need to have your needle down so that you can turn. Can you guys see that? I'm just going to keep going back and forth. So my needle is down in my fabric, and I can raise my foot up, and this allows me to pivot my fabric without losing my spot. So, and then now my new row is right on that 5/8 line again. And so I can put my foot down, and now I'm going to do this side.
Jeff's going ahead of class.
Of course he is. I told you, I said it was going to be boring for him because he already knows what he's doing. And then we're going to pull out the next pin. And we're keeping our eyes on that line and just pulling out our pins as we go.
Your machine is so quiet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute Jeff again. Well, I hear it like double because I hear it in real time and then I hear it in the stream, and it's like too much.
Oh, for Jeff's?
Yeah, because he's literally on the other side of this blanket wall.
Oh, yeah. So then when we get to that corner again, we put the needle down and we pivot again for the next corner. And I used a darker threads just so that you guys will be able to see what I've done. Not yet. Okay. And then we're putting the needle down to pivot again. We always keep that needle down to pivot. And now if we had just sewn these seams for an outfit or something, then we would go and we would iron our seams. But we are doing a pillow, so we're not going to worry about that.
Oh.
All right, so now we're on our last side. And we have that stopping point is that second pin. And we're going to stop right there. And then we are going to reverse again. 1, 2. And once we reverse, we're going to make sure our needle is at our starting point. Like I said, on mine, there's a ridge on my hand wheel. So I'm going to either go a full rotation or however far I have to go to get it back to that starting point. So now we have a square that has a little opening right here. That's going to allow us to turn it. But before we turn it, we're going to clip all of our hanging threads because we never want hanging threads. And then we're going to clip each corner. We're going to clip the corners and make them flat like this without cutting that corner of thread. So you're going to want to go as close as you can to it, but not cut it. And should I wait for Sandra to say why are we doing that, or just go ahead and tell you guys?
You can tell us.
Okay. So the reason we're doing that is because we want our pillow to have nice corners. And so we're going to take away some of that fabric that would clog up the corner and make it not as nice. So, so that's why we are removing that excess fabric on the corners. So like if you were making a tie or a bow or something and you wanted nice sharp points, this is what you would do for that as well. So now we have it with our corners clipped. And see how it's nice and close to that thing. Mm-hmm. So then what we're going to do is we're going to open up that little opening and we're going to push the fabric through and turn it right side out. So this is why our right sides were together. But now when we do this, you're going to turn it right side out. And you're going to have really nice sides and really nice points on your corners.
Ooh.
Now there are lots of tools and I actually didn't think about it. So I have no clue where my point turner is. I do have a little tool that's called a point turner, and it's a little piece of plastic that has a point on it. But you can use closed scissors and just take them and give a gentle push to your corner to get that nice sharp corner. Don't use
Using the
open
back of a
scissor.
paintbrush.
Yeah, the back of a paintbrush would be good, but my painting supplies are all downstairs. So yeah, so then we do that. Now this is where you would, what I call it is a finger roll. And you do a nice finger roll to get that edge nice and out. And then you can finger press. So we don't have irons at school. So I do have the kids finger press theirs, which creates heat with your fingers. And it makes your size a little bit sharper. But if you have access to an iron, I encourage you to now, this is where you would go and you would iron your edges and press it and make it nice and sharp. So then, if you have polyfill,
Like Jeff does.
this is where you would then stuff your pillow. So like, where is my polyfill?
It'd also be pretty much the same thing, but just don't stitch one side and add a zipper, and that's like every makeup bag.
Yes. I normally now I do the zipper first, and then you put the zipper in between the two squares, and you obviously with the right sides down on your surface, and then you put your zipper down facing also right side down, and then you stitch it down, and then you just stitch it closed. So then after you get your, I always stuff my corners first and then worry about the middle. So that way I get nice corners.
Otherwise, you just have it all shoved in the middle and the corners are floppy.
Yep. So then once my corners are all done, then I start filling up my center. And then I play with it. And then you have that little piece that isn't closed. And that is where you will either do that hidden ladder stitch. Because if you look, you'll see that this looks exactly like, see how it's two folded over pieces of fabric?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that. It looks exactly like what we did at the beginning with those two folded pieces of fabric. And then we did the invisible ladder stitch or the whip stitch. And obviously, if you have thread that matches, you could do a nice tiny whip stitch, and it's fine. Because, you know, but if you want it to be hidden, you would do the ladder stitch and then just close that up, and you have a little pillow.
Aw, it's so cute.
So, and this is the beginning project that I give my students to do. But yes, we can take the same 2 squares and we can make a bag. Just by folding. There's a lot you can do with 2 squares of fabric. So I'm gonna I don't know how much time we have.
As long as we need.
Okay. This is not another 2 12-inch pieces, but imagine it was. Okay. So if we had 2 other squares, and then just if you folded away from the right side and gave yourself a little hem, and then folded away from the right side and gave yourself a little hem and sewed those down with your 2 pieces. I'm just going to do that real quick. So then your 2 squares would look like this with a hem folded down. And then this would be your right side. Obviously, you would want to pick thread that matched whatever your cotton was. And then you would do that on both pieces. This is just to show you everything that you could, how you can make other things out of those 2 12-inch squares. So then we have, so then you take them and you'll put them right sides together like we just did. But now you have this nice finished edge. So you're only going to sew these 3 sides. And if you wanted on each of them, you can put a handle. You would put a handle, obviously. And then so if you wanted to be sustainable and start taking your own grocery bags to the store, so then you end up with like this, a bag. And then you would turn it right side out. And with your handles that you sewed on, you would have a bag with handles. And so you can make them whatever size you need. They could be 24 by 24. They could be 18 by 18. And if
That
you
looks like a nice
wanted,
bag.
Huh?
Looks like a dice
It looks
bag.
like a dice bag.
Oh yeah, because it's small. Yeah. So, or you can make a small one like this and use it for dice or pins or other stuff.
Or knowing Bruce, he would want it as an accessory for an action figure or something.
So, and then you can also trying to. If you wanted it to be a flat bottomed bag and you stitch down the diagonally on the bottoms, I'll show you what it does.
Now, when you say flat, that means when you open it up, it can like sit open like a gift bag.
So, yeah. So if you want it to be so you would do diagonal and then so straight across, and it ends up with a flat bottom like that.
Ooh.
So yeah. So I don't know. Are there any questions or this is what I'm working on right now.
Yes, tell us what you're working on.
Dorothy Gale from Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
And then
what event are you going to wear that to?
WonderCon. And then I'm also working on a competition piece of the White Queen from Alice in Wonderland. And this is where I am on that at this point. This is my bodice. And I have a huge ball gown and then lots of beading and hand embroidery that I'm going to be doing. So, yeah. So this is also for WonderCon. So you can see that currently I have this pinned in. It's not sewn in yet. WonderCon is March 27th through 29th.
I probably have it on the calendar. I think Sack Geeks has it on their convention schedule calendar.
Yeah, they usually do come out. So
I know because I made the list.
I know you judge for cosplay as well. When you're judging on cosplay, what are you looking for when people say they sewed their own pieces?
Mostly I'm looking to see that they did things like clipping their threads, like there's no threads hanging like this from their piece. That they, and then it basically depends on what the previous person, because like if somebody comes in and they have no clipped threads, all of their seams are perfectly straight, everything is nice, you know what I mean, and clean. Then if the next person comes in and their seams are crooked, so for judging, it's like so nitpicky because it could very well could end up being, something like a crooked seam, or you didn't clip all your threads so they were all hanging, I don't know. I am not a con cruncher. I do not like con crunching at all. So I like to take my time, do things slow. But I know that some people that's just not their vibe. They like the rush and the pressure of doing it, fast, and I can't do that.
I do both.
Yeah, he does do both.
I start slow and I'm working on it to like 2 days out, and then I get to like 2 days out and I'm like, oh, it needs to be done tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like our Marvel zombies.
So.
I slept like.
Wait, you guys already did
2 hours
Marvel
that night?
Zombies. What do you mean?
No, when he was making them, we took our time and all of a
Okay.
sudden, like literally the day of show, we were still working on them.
Yeah, I slept for 2 hours that night, and not at the same time. It was like 2 1-hour naps.
So, well, I also listen to people like when they say things like, I've never used pleather before, but for this, so, and then that sometimes, they were trying out a new skill. So then sometimes your brain says, okay, you forgive some of the mistakes because it was a new skill for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
so you're
if you
judging
look,
them on how well they did it based on being like a newbie as opposed to a person who's expert more with that material or that
yeah,
crafting the object.
definitely, because if they're and usually people don't try a new thing as the entirety of of their cosplay. So maybe like their top or the bodysuit was made out of the pleather, but then they have a cape, and you look at the cape that's cotton or velvet or something, and like those lines are all perfect, and so it's like you have to like gauge that thing, and then how many different techniques did they do?
Or somebody decides to make a leather belt.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I mean, like when I made Merida, I tried so many new techniques that are on her, I mean, I went and took leather lessons to learn how to do leather and how to do it properly and correctly. And then I also tried out, like I had never done foiling before. So that was an entirely new concept. And it was my first time using velvet. So I did throw a lot of new things in it. But then I stuck to suiting fabric because I knew it was a strong fabric that was going to be true to me, and withstand. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had to take her apart 3 times.
Oh, yeah, I remember that because we were in the contest with you when you did that one.
Oh, yeah.
So I know there's like solid fabric and then there's stretchy fabrics. How do you go about getting like a stretchy fabric to sew to a solid fabric without your line changing?
Very, very carefully and lots of pins. So
I've had that before where you're running it through the machine and then suddenly you have 2 inches more of just glue on the thing.
yeah, because if and also some things that I've tried, like you may have noticed that my foot is not metal. I have a Teflon foot on my machine because that helps the stretchier fabrics to go through easier.
Mm.
It helps it glide a little more.
Yeah. So, because I was having that issue when I was making Batgirl. Actually, where's my? I just had my sample for So because here's my Batgirl sample, and I have the non-slippery fabric and the slippery fabric. And I kept having that issue. So what I ended up just doing so many pin, the same thing that I do for princess seams. I probably use way more pins than I need to for princess seams. But when you get to that reverse curve, having those extra pins hold it keeps it from sliding. So for me, I'd rather spend the time pinning and having... Okay, I should not have looked at the comments.
Yeah, Phil's on his ADHD has taken over in the chat. So
Yeah. So
you can yell at him, it's okay.
I'm like, okay.
But what do you do for your princess seams? Like, what seam is that now that you've mentioned it?
Princess seams are seams on the bodice that help it to fit properly on a girl. So they're curved. And so when you're sewing it, it's kind of reversed together and it's kind of awkward because you're curving around. And it just... Yeah, it just helps to have those extra... My dog wants attention. She's yelling. Can you guys hear her, or is it just me?
A little bit, but it's like we're a live show. It is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew these and show you how it... Yeah. So, I was gonna show you guys this book too. So this is a great book for anybody that wants to learn how to sew and everything. So let me... Right. My small little dice bag. I'm like...
Well, now you have one if you didn't before.
So I have so many, it's not even funny. Yeah, we could have done a skip stitch right here, and that would have allowed us to put strings through it, and then it could have been a drawstring bag. So yeah, so just so Sandra can see how it has a flat bottom now. So see how it has a square bottom now that I did the triangle. So now that I did the triangles, it has a square bottom.
Okay.
So yeah, so you can make your little sustainable shopping bags like that. So this book, actually I'll show you my two favorite books. So this book, A Guide to Fashion Sewing, gosh, it shows you all basic actually, you know what? I can show you what a princess seam is.
Ooh.
Let me go to the index. Find out what page it is on.
I'm giggling at a comment Phil said.
Yeah, I'm kind
But
of.
this one's good for you. It's a good one. It says the book is called How to Be a Badass, a Cosplayer, and a Master of the Storm, written by Cindy.
Ha! Yeah, right. It doesn't have a princess seam in here. Oh, well. But it does have all kinds of seams. It tells you how to do all kinds of pockets. Tells you about zippers, how to do different types of zippers, how to sew them, how to put them in. So it really is a great guide for anybody interested in sewing. It talks about how to make your own bias, how to do corners, how to do pleats, how to do ruffles. It really is my go-to book. And if like I get a pattern that says do this, but then it doesn't show you how to do it, that's the book that I pull out. And then I have this other one which is really fun, and it's called Creating Couture Embellishments. And this has like next level things that you might want to learn how to do. So like beading, making all these different kinds of flowers that you might want to put on a dress, and how to do all of those techniques, how to make different kinds of tassels, dealing with sewing with feathers. So this is a great book for that. So here's like how to make a ribbon rose to put on a cosplay or on something. So
Ooh, Phil has a
I think you
question.
said it right
Legit.
the first time. Dealing
Is it
with
a real
feathers.
Okay, what the hell
question?
is couture? He never understood it. Yes, he wants to know what is couture. He never understood that term.
It's like high level of fashion.
Like the fashion shows stuff that they do in like Paris and London and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I learned
It's
about
fancy
that from
people
watching The
clothes.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, and kind of like they're the trendsetters. Couture is like trend setting, you know. So it may not, and sometimes it might not even be like what you think somebody would wear, but then because you see somebody else wear it, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. So.
And then Juicy happened and ruined the term, he says.
And then what?
And then Juicy happened and ruined the term.
Oh.
But their perfume's really nice. I like their perfume.
So,
So, Cindy, if we're gonna possibly wrap it up a little bit, do you want to tell everyone if they want to find you, where to find you and look you up on the interwebs, and what show or shows you're gonna be at next week, month, or however far out it is?
so because I'm doing this big build for the competition, I'm not going to many coming up. But you guys should all go to VerseCon and support my friends and go check
Which
it out.
friends?
Who's all going there? The cosplay dropouts are going to be there. The Team Inferno is going to be there. Trace is going to be there. I mean, Trace puts so much work into that show, so people should go check it out. Sack Geeks is probably going to be there.
They are. That's why I'm there.
So I'm like, yeah, so go. Everybody should go check it out. It's going to be at the Scottish Rite Center next weekend. I will be here sewing, thinking of you, wishing I was having fun with all of you guys. But I am feeling very behind at the moment because I had 2 surgeries and I am just now getting use of my hands and arms back. So I have a lot of catch up to do. So
Okay.
yeah, so you can find me at Sindiroo Cosplays on just about everything. I
Like
don't really
Instagram?
post. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, but I don't post much on YouTube because I always forget to record. I'm so bad at it. I get in the zone and I just forget. So, but if anybody does have sewing questions or anything, they can reach out to me on Instagram. I am all about helping people and teaching. I've helped 3 people now build cosplays over FaceTime and Instagram. So, yeah, so if you need help or you just have questions that you want to ask, please don't be nervous to ask. If you see me at a con, please come say hi. I've been told lately that I'm scary to approach, and I hope people don't feel that way and that you come say hi to me because I'm really not scary. So,
Yeah, the only time you're like aggressive is because you're like telling people what to do because we're all supposed to be doing something. That's the only time I've ever seen you, is when you're coordinating the models at the Geek Fashion Show.
so yeah, so and yeah, and I do that. I do the fashion show. You should come see the fashion show when we have it. So
What'd you say, Jeff?
I will be at Stockton Con. Stockton Con at the end of February. Because I'm hoping I will have the majority of my stuff done by then.
Well, hopefully so. I think we might be there. We'll see if we're gonna go. We're not sure on that one, but we'll see.
So yeah. So thank you for having me. It's very different doing it on YouTube where I'm not getting immediate feedback from people. I'm so used to teaching more hands-on and having people ask questions, and so it's a little different.
Yeah, but I'm sure other people will watch later and they'll have questions and comments, and then if they commented, I'll redirect them to your Instagram and stuff like that. So
awesome. Sounds great. And thanks for having me and letting me make this fun pillow. Oh, I didn't get to see your pillow, Jeff. He lost it.
Yeah, even though he just cleaned the cosplay room. It's amazing.
Yay!
It is clean. You can't
nice.
see down, but my camera died.
Yeah, you can see the floor.
I'm not gonna tilt mine.
No, but his is normally stuff everywhere.
Mine currently is stuff everywhere because I have White Queen here. I have Dorothy there. I have the grommet maker there because I have to put grommets into the corset. So yeah. So.
Well, that's what happens.
And don't forget to turn off your sewing machine.
Yeah, I just have my one project over here.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I have to make wings also before WonderCon.
Oh my gosh. How big?
Actually the character that I'm doing, her wings are kind of broken. She only has 4 feathers left. So she's kind of a sad little, but I'm attempting something I've never done before. I'm making wings out of this packing material. So I'm hoping to get feathers out of this. And
know who I know who did make feathers out of that before?
Who?
Astro's here.
Oh, okay.
like the first Sinister we ever entered, we realized that was her, that one person with like the big wings. That was her, and she made them out of that.
Hello.
Bruce is saying hi. I don't know if you can hear me.
Hi, Brucey. How are you?
You're good?
Yeah.
All right. He gave a thumbs up.
Mama, did I turn on?
No, not yet.
All right.
And
Well,
we'll
thank you
be
guys.
putting all of Cindy's links down in the description below as well.
Yes, we will put all her links of how you can find Cindy in the description of this video after. And we thank you, Cindy, for coming on, because this is a new thing
thank
we're
you.
doing, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I wish I had a better setup for the sewing machine. I was like, as I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't even know how to show it so that they can see things. So I hope.
I think it came out
Thank you.
good because I
All
could
right.
see everything and I understood it. And again, if anyone had questions or they watch this later and have questions, you guys just put them in the comments and we can redirect you or help you out answering that question.
Sounds good. And hopefully they
Thank
don't
you
get
for coming on,
distracted by
Cindy.
Phil's comments.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for
Thank
coming on,
you.
Cindy. We'll
all
talk
right.
to you
Have
soon.
a good night, guys.
Night.
All right. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this.
So yeah, guys, like you heard Cindy talking about, VerseCon is going to be coming up this weekend at the January 31st, February 1st at the Scottish Rite Center. There's going to be a ton of Dragon Ball voice actors. There's going to be Grand Theft Auto and oh my gosh, there's a lot more. And there's going to be new vendors. There's going to be some old vendors. There's going to be the Cosplay Dropouts, Team Inferno, and Boykins Cosplays is going to be there as well. And I've been in talks with him because he is going to be our MC for the cosplay contest. And the judges are going to be Team Inferno and Cosplay Dropouts. I know all of this because I got put in charge of it. I'm running my first official cosplay contest via Sat Geeks. So Sat Geeks is partnered with VerseCon to do the cosplay contest. So you guys can sign up at the Sat Geeks booth. We're going to have a bunch of cool prizes and stuff. And Jeff has printed one of the trophies right now. So if you are a Dragon Ball fan, you know what that is. And you will want that because that is for our best in show prize. Best adult and best kid are still getting printed. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, be in the contest, try to win that, or just want to see who wins it. And also, there is going to be a ribbon exchange there. So because of that, Sat Geeks is going to have ribbons. They're going to do a scavenger hunt for that. And also, guys, we got ribbons too. They're so pretty. Now, to get one of these ribbons, what you got to do is you find myself or Jeff, and we will tell you what you have to do to earn one of these little bad boys. I made some people earn them yesterday when I was in Pasadena for Pasadena Con. Now, if you want to know how that went, you're going to have to check out Distance Nerding tomorrow because I will be there for the Geekend update and I will tell you all about it then. So, moving on. After VerseCon, we have... Oh, the same weekend as VerseCon. Sorry, I got it mixed up. That same night, January 31st, Love Horror has their Sacramento Horror Film Festival that day. It starts at 1 p.m. and goes on until it's over. Tickets are still available at sakhorrorfilms.com. It's going to be at the Historic Colonial Center here in Sacramento. And I also know that Voltaire is going to be there because he has a film that's in the show, and he's gonna have do a concert after as well. So it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I'm highly considering going just because the 31st is my birthday, and after running a cosplay contest and helping run a convention and stuff, I want to do something that's fun. So thinking I'm gonna be doing that. So come check it out, guys. Now, after that, the next thing on the books for us that we know of is Sat Geeks, our lovely Sat Geeks. Yeah, I'm always talking about Sat Geeks because they're awesome, because I'm on the board and I'm awesome. But they were awesome before I was there. I just add more awesome. They are having a Palantine bingo night at New Helvetia on Friday, February 13th from 6 to 9. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You can bring your friends, you can bring your family, you can bring anyone you want and come hang out and do bingo, have some drinks, have some food. I'm pretty sure they're going to have food. They normally have their own food truck there. And their food is so good. Mwah. So check it out. If you don't have plans, or you have plans for Saturday, but you want to do something on that Friday, you can go ahead and hang out with us there. Just scan the QR code and get your tickets there. And we hope to see everyone there to have some fun. Now, Sunday, February 15th, is East Bay Comic-Con in Concord, California. It is going to be a bunch of different vendors. It's going to be a great time. I know our friend from our last show, Dragon Child, they're going to be there. So if you want to go buy a dragon or buy a dragon-themed comic book, that's where you need to go find Dragon Child, because I love their stories. Bruce loves their stories. Bruce loves their dragons. It's amazing. So go check out East Bay Comic Con. Oh, no, went too fast. Okay, so after that, no. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to jump back. All right, so then when Cindy was talking about also earlier, was Stockton Con Winter is going to be February 28th through March 1st at the Stockton Pop Culture Convention Center. And it's going to have, if you've been there, you know, it's 2 stories, celebrities on the top, and vendors on the bottom, Artist Alley. There's going to be a whole mess of people there. I forgot her name, but the lady who is the voice of Jessie from Toy Story is going to be there. I saw her yesterday too, but I didn't get to meet her because I was busy. Again, you want to find out why I was busy? Check out Distance Nerding tomorrow. So yes, Stockton Con will be February 28th and March 1st. And at the same time, if you don't feel like going to Stockton or you live a little further up north, there is Reading Anime, and that will be also at the same time, February 28th and March 1st in Reading, California. I have to double check, but I do think a Deadpool may be there. But I'll double check, get back to you guys on that one as we continue on. Also, guys, here we are. We are on the road to 200 still. How come you guys have not been telling your friends to subscribe? I mean, I love y'all, but you need to help us get to 200. We are currently at 166. 166. So that means we need 34 more so we can give away all the cool prizes. Because as we've been going on trying to get to this 200, we've been collecting more and more prizes to give away. So, you guys, get us to the 200 so we can give stuff away, and then we can start all over again to get to 300. So, if you want it, you need to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe and get us there. We are almost there. We are so close. So, come on, help us out, guys. You love us. We know you love us. Help us get to 200.
Also, so we put up the poll to see which one was going to be our project for this Wednesday, whether it was going to be Darth Doompool or working on the Ash matched up with Ash. and Ash won. So we are
Ash
going to be starting on
Oh,
the
yeah, Ash
easy
won.
that goes on the end of the screenshot that we made. So we're going to be working on the easy that's going to dangle off right here. So we're going to be working on the and that's going to do it for us this week. So remember, be a maker, not a hater.